Welcome to Brighton. My name's Rebecca and I'm a student here. I'm English, but I'm not from Brighton. I come from London. But I live here now and I love it. Brighton is an exciting and multicultural town. It has a population of 270,000, and many of these people are from different countries. A lot of people are here for Brighton's great beach and fantastic atmosphere. But many are here for the language. Learning English is now a huge global business. There are over 1.5 billion English learners around the world, and Brighton is a very popular English-speaking destination. There are now English language schools all over the town, with lots and lots of students. But of course, learning isn't just for the classroom. It's important to chat in English outside of class too. This is the Jubilee Library. English language learners come here to practice speaking. Every day there is a conversation exchange here. You can teach other people your language and learn English from them. There's a table for every language. Each person speaks their own language for the first 45 minutes and English for the last 45 minutes. Today, it's an open exchange, so there are people from all over the world here. But sometimes the exchange is for specific languages. On Monday, for example, there's an Italian exchange, and on Tuesday, there's a Spanish exchange. Language exchanges are great places to meet people and make friends. These conversations aren't long, but they're only the beginning. After the language exchange, learners socialize together. They go to the beach and walk along Brighton Pier. They also see some of the town's famous sights, like the Brighton Clock Tower and the Royal Pavilion. Social events like these are a fantastic way to practice English in a friendly environment. It isn't surprising that Brighton is such a popular destination for English language learners. There are great facilities, like the conversation exchange, and lots of people to talk to. Learning a language isn't easy, but with friendly people in a relaxed atmosphere, it's lots of fun.
This is the Mena family. They live in Colegiales, a neighborhood in Buenos Aires. During the week, they are very busy. This is Roberto. He works as a reporter for Channel 9, an Argentinian television network. He reports on lots of different news stories. Every day is different, and there's a lot to do, but he loves his job. This is Gabriela. She's always busy too. She works at a local radio station, and she starts very early. She wakes up before the rest of the family and leaves the house at around 6:30 a.m. Milagros and Julieta are Roberto and Gabriella's daughters. Milagros is 11 and Julieta is 7. They go to the same school and they start at 8 a.m, so it's always a rush in the morning. During the week, the Mena family don't have a lot of free time, so they really enjoy the weekend. On Saturday, they usually get up around 9 or 10 a.m, and they all make breakfast together. They eat toast with cheese and butter, but Julieta has cereal with chocolate milk. Roberto and Milagros drink mate, a typical Argentinian drink. And Gabriella drinks coffee. Sometimes Roberto makes special omelets. They're delicious. After breakfast, the family often play games. Sometimes they play board games, but the girls often prefer to play video games. In the afternoon, they often go for a walk or go to the park near their house. It's a small park, but it has swings and a slide, so the girls have lots of fun. In the evening, they play music. Milagros plays the guitar, and the rest of the family sing. Sometimes Roberto plays the bongos. Sunday is a relaxing day too. In the morning, they stay at home. Gabriella reads the paper, Roberto drinks more mate, and the girls play on the computer. In the afternoon, they usually visit Gabriella's parents and have a large meal with them. They all eat outside. They have barbecued meat with salad and bread. After the meal, they have coffee and go home. By the time they get home, it's time for bed. On Sunday, they go to bed early, so they have lots of energy for the week ahead.
Arash Faz is a doctor in neurology at Mount Sinai Hospital. He's from Iran, but now he lives in New York City.
My eyes were open.
Mount Sinai is a huge hospital with over 1,000 beds and about 3,500 doctors and student doctors. Around 36,000 people work in its 32 departments. Dr. Faz is a final year resident. That means he is a student doctor in his last year.
But how many quarters in 2000?
He has a degree in medicine from a medical school in Tehran, Iran's capital.
Sensory.
He moved to the USA in 2001 because he wanted to study. He now has a PhD from Boston University. So, what does he do each day? He usually gets up at 6:30 and leaves home at 7. He arrives at around 7:30. He checks the new patient list and talks to other doctors. Then he visits his patients. He discusses their illnesses and the medicine they need.
-7. It's strong.
He usually has lunch during his midday meeting, but he doesn't eat a lot because he doesn't have a lot of time. In the afternoon, Dr. Faz usually visits his patients, and with the nurses, he checks that they are okay and have the right medicine. He does this once, twice, even 3 times a day, so he can make sure that everybody has what they need. His days are always very busy, and he often stays late. He sometimes works until 9 p.m.
Drunk like this is a bit hard.
Mount Sinai is an excellent hospital and is famous all over the world. For Dr. Faz, it's very different from hospitals in Iran, which were usually small and not very modern. But both in America and Iran, patients need the same help and care. Dr. Faz enjoys this part of his job. He works hard, but every day he helps people and can really change their lives for the better.
Dubai in the United Arab Emirates is a city of skyscrapers. There's the Burj Khalifa, the Burj Al Arab, and the Al Mas Tower. The Al Mas Tower is the tallest business tower in the Middle East. It's 360 meters tall and has 68 floors. It's in the Jumeirah Lakes Towers Free Zone, a large business area in the center of Dubai. There are 66 skyscrapers here, and they are all near the beautiful Jumeirah Lake. The Al Mas Tower is on its own island in the middle of the lake. It is the centerpiece of the Free Zone and famous for its amazing structure. The tower is actually 2 connected towers that stand next to each other. The surface of the tower is glass, so it sparkles in the hot Dubai sun. In fact, Al Mas means the diamond in Arabic. The Al Mas Tower is the home of Dubai's jewelry trade, and the Dubai Diamond Exchange and Dubai Pearl Exchange are here. There are lots of very expensive jewels here. They are in the basement for security reasons. The Dubai Multi-Commodities Centre, the authority for the entire Free Zone, is on the ground floor. Above this, there are floors full of offices. And there are lots of big businesses here. This is the headquarters of Harley-Davidson for the Middle East and North Africa. It's on the 48th floor. The Al Mas Tower is an office building. But there aren't just offices here. There are lots of other facilities too. There are shops and restaurants, and a huge car park with 1,700 spaces. At the top of the tower, there's a viewing point with wonderful views of Dubai. The Al Mas Tower is only one of Dubai's many incredible skyscrapers, but its height, its structure, and its location make it one of the city's iconic buildings.
The High Street is an important part of British life. Shoppers can buy everything here. Food, music, and, of course, clothes. In fact, people often call popular fashion high street fashion. This is because a lot of large clothes shops are here. People can buy all kinds of clothes in these shops, and they are usually cheap. But a lot of these clothes look the same, and they are often poor quality. This is why some shoppers prefer old, vintage clothes that they can't find on the high street. These people come to Camden. Camden is an area of London in the centre of the city. It's famous for its 5 markets, including Camden Lock Market and Stables Market. Camden Lock is beside the Regent's Canal. It's over 40 years old. At first, people could buy art and furniture here. But today, it has a large indoor market and several outdoor stalls that sell all kinds of clothes. The Stables Market is the largest part of Camden Market. It has famous clothes shops like Cyberdog and lots of different stalls selling vintage and handmade clothes. Shoppers can find all kinds of clothes in Camden that they can't buy anywhere else. These people aren't all looking for the same thing, but they're all hoping to find something for their own special style. You can see many different styles in Camden.
I'm wearing green overcoat, grey jacket, black trousers, white shirt, tie, waistcoat.
I'm wearing a red jacket, a black and white dress and gold shoes.
Today I'm wearing a black overcoat with a black scarf, grey cardigan, dark blue tie, black shirt, black skinny jeans and black shoes.
At Camden Market, clothes are very important, but there are other things here too. Shoppers can buy books, jewellery and music. In fact, these shoppers are looking for old music records in a vintage music shop. There are lots of food stalls too. And they sell food from all over the world. Camden Market is most famous for its style. The shoppers are stylish, the clothes are stylish, even the food is stylish.
Istanbul is the largest city in Turkey. It sits on 2 continents, Europe and Asia, and it has a population of over 10 million people. It's an ancient city, and its first name was Byzantium. In the year 324 CE, the Roman Emperor Constantine created a new city to replace Byzantium. He called it Constantinople. When the Republic of Turkey was born in 1923, the city's name changed to Istanbul. Today, it is still one of the world's major cities, and visitors can see its fascinating history everywhere. This is the Hagia Sophia. It's over 1,500 years old. At first, it was a church, then it was a mosque, and now it's a beautiful museum. Today, this magnificent building, with its large dome, is a symbol of the city and its history. Istanbul is also famous for the Bosphorus Strait. This is the border between Europe and Asia, and stretches from Istanbul to the Black Sea. Because of its location, the Bosphorus was important in ancient Greece, ancient Persia, and ancient Rome. In those times, many people visited the city, and boats used the Bosphorus to travel between Europe and Asia. The strait is still a part of Istanbul life today. The public transport on the Bosphorus is very popular with local people, and ferries are a great way for tourists to see the city. It's useful for industry too. It's one of the busiest waterways in the world. A lot of the ships traveling to the Middle East pass through here. And it is here that the local fishermen catch their famously fresh seafood. They sell it here, at the city's Grand Bazaar. This market is over 560 years old. There isn't much of the original structure, but some of these buildings are from the 18th century. At that time, it was one of the most important markets in the world. Today, it's still really busy. The market covers 60 streets and has over 3,000 shops. Around 300,000 people come here every day. They buy lots of different things and enjoy the aroma of herbs, spices, coffee, and cooking food. Byzantium, Constantinople, Istanbul. This city was the center of civilizations for centuries. These civilizations ended, and the city changed. But Istanbul is always full of life. Here, where the East meets the West, and the ancient meets the modern, you can discover the past and enjoy the present.
New York is the city that never sleeps. It is very busy and it runs for 24 hours. The most famous part of New York is Manhattan. Every day, 2.5 million people travel into Manhattan for work, and every year, about 50 million tourists come here to visit. Because the city is so busy, it's difficult to get around. For many years, people didn't walk very far because the sidewalks were so crowded. They didn't cycle either because the traffic was so dangerous. They always took the subway or drove their own cars. So, for many years, a lot of people in New York didn't get much exercise. Because they were very busy, they ate a lot of bad food too. It isn't a surprise that a lot of New Yorkers were unhealthy. But in 2002, the mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg, decided to try and change things. He told New Yorkers to take more exercise, leave their cars at home, and eat better food. So what changed? Well, New Yorkers take more exercise now. Even in winter, there are lots of runners and joggers in Central Park. And now they can also run and walk here, on the High Line. The High Line was an overhead railway on Manhattan's west side. In 2006, it reopened as a park. It is now a great place to jog, walk, or relax. In May 2013, New York finally got a bike scheme. With city bikes, you can rent a bike anywhere in the city for nearly $10 a day. Now, 42,000 people use these bikes in the city every day. New Yorkers also eat better now. You can still eat every kind of food in the city, but the restaurant menus tell you how many calories are in your meal, so you know more about the food you're eating. Of course, you can't change everything. Some people here still don't take enough exercise, and many people still enjoy a slice of real New York pizza. But more and more New Yorkers now enjoy a happier, healthier lifestyle.
Holidays are a great way to see new places. But while some people want to go sightseeing or relax on the beach, others prefer exciting adventure holidays. They hike through mountains, go trekking across the desert, or ride boats through dangerous waters. Sarah Darby is one of these people. Sarah is from Oxford in the United Kingdom. She took 3 months holiday from work and went on a cycling trip in South America.
I journeyed to Patagonia, starting off in Ushuaia, which is the southernmost city on Earth. I flew my bicycle out from Britain to Ushuaia, and I wanted to cycle the Carretera Austral.
The Carretera Austral is a 1,240-kilometer-long highway. It runs through Patagonia and Chile and goes through some of the most remote areas in the world. So why did Sarah decide to go there?
I decided to go to Patagonia because it was an opportunity to go to a different continent, and I just thought, well, you know, Patagonia is a dream place to go to if you like remote and wild places.
One of Sarah's favourite things about the journey was the scenery. The landscape was amazing, and the colours changed all the time, from red to orange, yellow, green, and even grey. But that wasn't the only thing she liked about the journey.
The other thing that amazed me about the place was the people. They're really, really generous, and you know, they often buy you coffee or a bowl of chips or even lunch. You know, after a whole day of cycling, they kind of want to help you out, and yeah, the people are amazing.
But cycling through this beautiful but empty landscape wasn't easy.
I read a lot of horror stories before I went about the Carretera Austral. It's a very lonely, empty road. There's hardly any traffic on it.
The road was in a very bad condition, and she fell off her bike a lot of times. She sometimes had to push the bike, which wasn't easy.
The whole bike weighed 46 kilograms, so it's heavy. And I'm you know, quite a fit, strong person, I think, but it was difficult.
Sarah wanted to cycle the entire highway, but she only had 3 months, and she wanted to see a lot of places. So what other kind of transport did she use?
Chile's a very, very long country, and I really wanted to get to the very northern tip and see the Atacama Desert as well. So after cycling, I left my bike in Santiago, and I used overnight buses. I did use pickup trucks when I needed to. I also used boats, and I took a flight to Easter Island as the very last thing.
Sarah travelled from the southern tip of Patagonia to the Atacama Desert in northern Chile. It was an incredible journey, with lots of amazing things to do and see.
This is La Cucina, an authentic Italian restaurant in Oxford, England. Italian cuisine is popular all over the world, but one dish is especially well known: pizza. Its simple recipe and basic ingredients mean that many countries now have their own pizza style. American pizza, for example, is very popular, especially Chicago's deep pan style. But the original pizza comes from Naples, in the Campania region of Italy. La Cucina's chefs are very serious about pizza, and they make each one to a traditional recipe. To make the dough, they use wheat flour, yeast, and water, and season with some salt. They don't use any other ingredients, and they certainly don't use any additives. When the dough is ready, they make the sauce. They chop onion and fry it in olive oil. Then they add good quality Italian tomatoes and some salt. When the sauce has cooled, they carefully put some on the base. Then they add the mozzarella, a cheese from southern Italy. Then the pizza is ready to go into the hot pizza oven. It stays there for about 10 minutes until the base is golden brown. A few basil leaves on top, and there you are, the perfect pizza. This is the traditional pizza margherita, the original pizza. But La Cucina sells many different kinds. There's pizza romana with olives and artichokes, pizza al funghi with mushroom and garlic, and pizza alla verdure with peppers, onions, aubergine and courgette. They even do a your choice. Customers can choose how many toppings and how much cheese they want. Finally, when the pizza is finished, they serve it with nothing. Pizza is so good, they always eat it solo.
This is the Grand Canyon, one of the world's natural wonders. The Grand Canyon is in Arizona, in the southwest of the United States. It's one of the most popular tourist attractions in the world. And each year, over 4 million visitors come here. They usually drive to the canyon's southern rim and enjoy the famous views from Lippin Point. They take photographs of the Palisades, the southeastern wall of the canyon, and look out at the Echo and Vermilion cliffs. Tourists also visit the historic buildings along the south rim, such as the Desert View Watchtower and Lookout Studio. Some even take the Grand Canyon Railway, which stops in Grand Canyon Village. Afterwards, they go to the Grand Canyon Visitor Center. Here they can learn all about the canyon's history, geography, and wildlife. There are maps, interactive displays, and games for children. People like looking at the canyon, but very few visitors travel into the canyon. There is so much more to see inside. The bottom of the canyon is much warmer than the top. At the top, there are cool fir forests, but as you go further, it becomes hotter and drier, and it looks like nowhere else in the world. The Colorado River runs through the canyon. It is 300 feet wide and 100 feet deep. Over millions of years, it cut through the rock and created the canyon. In fact, the river is still changing the inside of the canyon today. The canyon is beautiful. There are incredible views here, and because there isn't any pollution, it has some of the cleanest air in the country. It's an amazing place, and everybody should come at least once in their lifetime. It's great fun too, and there are lots of activities for any age. Visitors can go rafting down the river, or go on a helicopter ride over the canyon's amazing landscape. The Grand Canyon isn't the longest canyon in the world. There are others that are wider and deeper too. But there are very few places that are so spectacular.
Hi, I'm Alicia. Welcome to the Fens. This area doesn't look very modern, but it's one of the biggest technology hubs in the world. This is Silicon Fen, Europe's Silicon Valley. There are over 1,500 science and technology companies around here. One of the most famous companies here is the processor design company ARM. The business began in a small office on Cambridge Science Park in 1990. Today, the company's headquarters are still only a short drive from Cambridge. But the building is much bigger and a lot more people work here. ARM also has offices in continental Europe, North America, Asia, and the Middle East, and employs more than 3,000 people. It provides technology to some of the world's most popular electronics companies, including Apple and Samsung. The company's technology is in 95% of smartphones. In fact, around 4.3 billion people use a device with an ARM chip every day. That's 60% of the world's population. Companies like ARM have made this area of the Fens one of the most important innovation centres in the world. But why are there so many technology companies in this remote area? There are several reasons for this. First of all, it's near London, and there are airports to the west and several major seaports to the east. Another reason is that there are excellent local facilities. There are fantastic roads and a great rail system. But the most important reason is Cambridge University. It is one of the oldest and most successful universities in the world. Some of the world's most brilliant scientists have worked here, such as Isaac Newton and Stephen Hawking. Over hundreds of years, the university has made many exciting scientific discoveries. All of these businesses are only a few miles from Cambridge, and most have a connection with the university. The university provides talented graduates and new technology, so it's a great place for small businesses to start and big businesses to grow. Experts call this the Cambridge phenomenon. The university encourages small businesses to start, these businesses become successful big businesses, and more small businesses start around them. All of these companies are connected, and they can share information, knowledge, and resources. And this is the real secret to Cambridge's success. Businesses work well when they work together. Thanks to this collaboration, Silicon Fen is going to grow and develop, making it a better place to do business in the future.
People have enjoyed the theatre for thousands of years. From ancient Greece to Shakespeare's London, people have always watched plays. But some things have changed. In Shakespeare's time, most people could afford the theatre. The rich sat in the balconies, and the poor sat on the floor, but they all watched the same play. Today, many theatres are very expensive. Ticket prices have increased a lot over the last few years. In London's West End, for example, the average ticket price is £81 sterling, and on Broadway, it's just under $100. Many of us can't afford these prices. So there are lots of people, especially young people, who have never been to the theatre. But some theatres are changing this. Park Theatre is in Finsbury Park in North London. It's a very modern theatre in an old office block. It has several different spaces, including Park 200, a large theatre with 200 seats, Park 90, a smaller theatre with 90 seats, and the Morris Space, an area for rehearsals, workshops, and classes. The organisers of the project, Jez and Melly Bond, started Park Theatre to help more people see good plays. They encourage everyone, theatre fans and first-timers, to come and enjoy the theatre. They do this in different ways. First, they keep prices low. Every ticket costs less than £20, so it's affordable. They also make sure there's lots of variety. They stage all kinds of plays, from old classics to modern musicals, so it's got something for everyone. At the moment, for example, they are showing Crystal Springs. This is a modern play about teenagers, parents, and social media. They are also preparing for the children's pantomime, Jack and the Beanstalk. In its short history, Park Theatre has been very successful. It has attracted large audiences from all kinds of backgrounds. So just like in Shakespeare's time, everyone can enjoy the theatre.
Can you tell me about your family?
Well, I have a brother and I have a sister. My brother is now 22 years old and my sister is 20 years old. My brother lives in Leiden and my sister lives in Amsterdam.
I have a sister, her name's Rianne, she's 18 and she lives in South London.
I have one daughter, her name is Stella and she's 14 years old. I have one brother, his name is John and he's 53. I am 52.
Yes, I have 4 brothers, Matthew, Tom, Finn and Nathan, all in their mid-30s, all live in London.
Yes, I have an elder brother named Graham. He's 52 years old. He's married, and they have a little boy named Griffin who's 16 years old.
What is a typical day for you?
So usually I wake up at 7 and then I have my breakfast and go to school, which starts at 8:30, and then I have some lessons and I have my lunch and go back home.
A typical day for me is to get up around 7 o'clock, have breakfast, get my children ready for school, and then take the kids to school. Then I'll get the bus at about 9 o'clock, get into work at about 10 o'clock, and I always start the day with a coffee at my desk, and then check emails, do my job, and I'll have lunch around 12 o'clock till about 12:30, finish work at 6 o'clock, get the bus home, and then have dinner with my family. We always have dinner together, and then to put the children to bed, and then I can relax.
I usually wake up at about 6:30 in the morning. I go jogging every morning, and then I arrive at work at about 9 o'clock, finish work at about 5 o'clock, and then have dinner at about 7 o'clock, and then I usually go to bed at about 9.
I normally get up at 7:30, then I have a shower, then I take the bus to work. I usually start work at about 9:30 and I finish at 5:30. After work, I walk home. Then when I'm at home, I cook dinner. And in the evening, I usually watch a film or read a book.
I get up at 7 a.m. in the morning and usually have eggs for breakfast. Sometimes I go swimming before work, but if I don't, I go get ready for work and go to work at 9 a.m. and then I get off at 5 p.m.
Where do you work or study?
I work in a hospital as a researcher.
I work for a charity. I'm not studying at the moment.
I study music in Manchester.
I study at the University of Nottingham and I study music.
I work as a teacher in Leicester.
Do you like your job?
I love my job. I interview patients and meet different people every day.
I like my job because I enjoy helping people understand finance.
Yes, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy working with the children.
What job would you like to have?
I'd like to be a professional musician because I'd like to travel around the world.
Eventually, I want to be a lawyer, so I want to go back to university and study law.
Do you live in a house or flat?
I live in a flat.
I live in a house.
I live in a house.
I live in a house with 5 other people.
I live in a house.
Which is your favourite room?
My favourite room is the kitchen.
The living room. I like the living room because it's comfortable.
The spare room is my favourite room because that's where I practice the harp.
My favourite room is the living room because I like to watch TV.
My favourite room is the kitchen.
Can you describe your favourite room?
It's big with a cooker and a fridge and a freezer and a large dining table, and it's a nice place to sit and chat, and big doors that open to the garden.
My favourite room has got lots of sofas and chairs.
The room has got a chair, a desk, a TV and a chest of drawers.
In the living room, there is a sofa. In front of the sofa, there's a television. Next to the sofa, there's an armchair and the walls are painted white.
My favourite room has a cooker, it has a sink and it has a table that we eat at.
Do you shop online?
Yes, I shop online.
I do. Yes, I do. Sometimes.
I don't shop online very often.
What do you like to buy online?
I like to buy my shoes online and my dresses because I can choose from a lot of different products.
I normally book holidays online and buy clothes because they normally have the size and the style I'd like.
I buy my clothes online because of convenience, and I buy my groceries online too.
I like to buy trainers because you can get exclusive ones online.
I like to buy old books online because they are easier to find online.
What do you like to buy in shops?
I like to buy my jewelry in shops, so necklaces and rings, because I can see how they look on my body.
I like to buy clothing and shoes mainly because you can try them on for fit.
Shops, I buy my lunch in shops because the shops are close to my office.
I like to buy t-shirts and jeans as it's my favourite type of clothing.
I like to buy clothes in shops because I can try them on.
When was the last time you watched a film?
I watched a film yesterday.
I watched a film 2 days ago on the aeroplane coming here from Australia.
Last time I watched the film was 2 weeks ago.
I watched a film about a week ago on an aeroplane.
I watched a film last weekend.
What was it?
It was The Devil Wears Prada.
The film was called The Grand Budapest Hotel.
It was Transformers.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Lone Soldier.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it because it's one of my favorite films and it's very funny.
I enjoyed it because it was funny and entertaining.
Yes, I did. It was really exciting.
I enjoyed it very much. It was very, very entertaining and amusing.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, but it was quite sad. So, yeah, no, it was a good film.
How do you keep fit?
I play golf twice a week and I also swim.
I go running once or twice a week, and I also do some exercise classes in the evenings.
I cycle to keep fit. I cycle to work every day.
I like to swim and I like to go to the gym.
I do some sports and I eat healthy food.
What should you do to stay healthy?
You should eat fresh vegetables, eat less salt and eat less sugar.
You should do some exercise a few times a week and eat lots of fruit and vegetables.
You should walk wherever you can.
To stay healthy, you should eat lots of fruits and vegetables and you should go to the gym.
You shouldn't eat too much fat.
When did you last have a holiday?
2 months ago.
I went on holiday about 3 weeks ago.
I last went on holiday 2 months ago.
I went on holiday last summer.
A month ago.
Where did you go?
I went to Corfu in Greece.
I visited a number of cities in Europe, for example, Paris, Amsterdam and Berlin.
I went on holiday to Lisbon in Portugal.
I went to Spain.
I went to Geneva in Switzerland.
What did you do?
Nothing too much, I just relaxed by the swimming pool.
In the days we visited lots of monuments, for example the Eiffel Tower, and in the evenings I went out with friends.
We walked a lot around the town, which is very hilly.
We went to the beach, we went swimming in the sea, and we went to restaurants.
I was visiting a friend.
How much time do you spend in your kitchen?
Very little.
I spend about half an hour a day in the kitchen.
Not much at all.
I spend very little time in my kitchen.
I spend very little time in my kitchen.
What's usually in your fridge?
In my fridge, there is dairy, salads, orange juice.
Chicken, fish, a lot of vegetables, milk and yogurt.
There's not much in my fridge.
Not very much. I usually just have prawns in my refrigerator.
In my fridge there is milk, orange juice, cheese.
What's the most beautiful part of your country?
I live in the United States, and the most beautiful part of my country is Florida.
I think North Devon is the most beautiful part of our country.
I like Yorkshire in the north of England.
I live in Spain, and the Costa Brava is very, very beautiful.
The most beautiful part of my country is the Lake District.
When's the best time to visit?
The best time to visit Florida is in the winter because it's less humid and less hot.
The best time to visit is in the spring, so you can surf.
In the summertime when the weather is nice.
The summer is very lovely. The sun is always shining. It's very warm, but the winter is also beautiful and peaceful.
The best time to visit is the summertime for the weather.
Have you ever done something to help your community?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I've done a few things to help my community.
Yes, I have.
What did you do?
I have given money to charity.
A few years ago, I did a fun run with my family to raise money for a charity.
I helped manage money for a charity.
I served soup and pudding to help raise money for the local primary school.
I volunteered for a church near where I live. I helped prepare food for poor people in the area.
Do you use technology a lot in your life?
I use it every day.
Yes, I use it every day.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I use technology a lot.
Yes, I do.
What do you use every day and what for?
I use the computer every day at work.
I use my phone and my tablet every day.
I use a computer daily and I use it to send emails.
I use my smartphone every day to keep in contact with my friends.
I use my laptop every day for work, for writing.
What do you use occasionally?
There's nothing I use occasionally. I use my computer and my smartphone every day.
I watch the television occasionally because I prefer to watch my favourite television programmes on my tablet.
I occasionally use GPS.
Occasionally I use tablets and laptops to do research.
I occasionally use my record player to play music.